who had immeasurable talent, immeasurable potential, but ended up becoming a terrible players in the pro. On the NFL side, names like Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, Tony Mandarich, Lawrence Phillips, Robert Griffin III, all those guys come to mind. In the NBA, we think of guys like Kwame Brown, Darko Milicic, Michael Olowokandi, the Candy Man, and of course Sam Bowie, who was drafted number 2 overall in the '84 draft, one spot ahead of Michael Jordan. For us baseball nerds, we think of guys like Mark Pryor and more recently, Matt Harvey. The book is still out on Matt Harvey, but it's not looking good. Now, not every draft bust was solely responsible for his failures, right? There were factors outside of his control that eventually led to their downfalls. DeJuan Wagner makes me think of DeJuan Wagner, one of John Calipari's best players. Had to have half of his colon removed because of severe colitis, and he was out of the league in 5 years. Wide receiver Brandon Marshall, I wouldn't consider him to be a bust, but he could have been so much greater if not for his mental illness. And then of course you have guys like Sam Bradford and Greg Oden, who are made out of peanut brittle. Yes, you have athletes that overcome sickness, and still become great athletes. Mario Lemieux beat, I think it was Hodgkin's non-lymphoma, came back to have a Hall of Fame career. John Lester, who of course beat cancer and still has a very good Major League Baseball career, won a World Series, I think, with the Boston Red Sox, and of course Lance Armstrong. But by and large, unforeseen, uncontrollable circumstances derail a lot of professional athletic careers. But the guys who have no one to blame but themselves, the guys who were their own worst enemy for one reason or another, were susceptible to the same things that we are as men. The very same thing that held these guys back from reaching their full potential holds us back as well. So today I'm going to talk about what really holds men back from reaching their full potential. And listen, I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. I'm guilty of a lot of these things, even now. So listen, this episode will be as much for me as it is you guys. It is Thursday, September 28th, 2018. I had to change around my schedule. Guys, I was lifting in the afternoons, and then I changed my showtime start time to 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and I was running into a lot of scheduling conflicts. Of course, having a bunch of software issues that I was dealing with as I look for a place for my bottled water here. Running into a bunch of software issues, and of course, my time management and everything was getting out of whack because I was lifting during the afternoon. Well, today, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, good old 4 a.m., got all my lifting out of the way, and lo and behold, here I am. Everything was smooth, everything was on time. I got my live pre-show Q&A in, so lifting in the afternoons, as long as I have this show on in this particular time slot, it's not going to be an option for me. I'm going to have to start getting up at 4 in the morning. Devin's not going to like that because I'm not going to be able to stay up with her and watch pointless television shows that she likes to watch, but them's the breaks. We got Rams and Vikings tonight. A lot of people would call this a potential NFC championship preview. Now, the Rams are the best team in football right now. They're an offensive juggernaut. Listen, man, they've got the human traffic jam. The human traffic jam and Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald. They have a great linebacking core. Their secondary is going to be decimated. Aqib Talib was placed on injured reserve yesterday, so he's going to be out for at least the next 8 weeks. They hope to have him back for the playoffs. Marcus Peters is also questionable. I think he had an ankle injury, but he probably won't play tonight. He injured his ankle on Sunday. We got a 4-day turnaround, so he's probably not going to play tonight. But listen, Thursday night games used to be unwatchable. It seemed like every Thursday night game was Cincinnati Cleveland, or no offense Miami J, but Miami Buffalo. Just point 49ers and pick a team. 49ers and the Raiders. It was always 49ers and Raiders is pretty tasty, but it's always two bad teams playing each other. Well, this year Fox decided to jump into the Thursday night football game. They probably went to the NFL and said, "Listen, dude, we don't want Baltimore and Cleveland, right? We don't want Buffalo and pick a bad team in the NFL. We don't want that. We want games people are going to watch. We want Giants Eagles. We want Vikings Rams. We want Patriots Cowboys. We want games people are going to watch." So the Thursday Night Football lineup this year on Fox is going to be, it's going to be good. And tonight's game is certainly going to be the start of that. A Tennessee high school athletic director has been placed on administrative leave for saying girls pretty much run everything. Now, this is actually quite funny. Actually had this queued up. So much for my smooth radio transition. Give me a second here. I literally just had this thing up. Where the hell did it go? Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. There we are. Tennessee high school AD put on leave for saying girls pretty much run everything. So I'm reading directly from the article. Jared Hensley, the athletic director and assistant principal at Soddy Daisy High School near Chattanooga, was placed on administrative leave Wednesday afternoon, soon after he says, quote, girls pretty much ruin everything, in a video he made for the student body, not run, ruin. In a Wednesday morning video addressed to the students, called a, quote, helping of Hensley, he announces a ban on wearing athletic shorts. He acknowledges that boys will be unhappy about it, but he says he had to make the rule. He said, quote, if you really want someone to blame, blame the girls because they pretty much ruin everything, he adds. Ask Adam, look at Eve. You can really go back to the beginning of time. In the video, which was posted to YouTube and taken down, but then uploaded by the Chattanooga Times Free Press, Hensley continues, it'll be like that for the rest of your life. Keep your mouth shut, suck it up, and follow the rules. The article continues. His message prompted a sharp backlash on social media, with users calling his comments unacceptable and misogynistic and asking followers to contact Hamilton County schools to express their displeasure, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's funny that anytime a measure of truth trickles out, and listen, women can say that boys ruin everything. Women can go on TV and say boys are all rapists and boys are bad, and yet you don't have to teach boys not to rape. Like, we can get our names dragged through the mud. But as soon as a Tennessee high school athletic director says girls pretty much ruin everything, now all of a sudden people want him to lose his job. Now, here's the thing. He's an idiot. He exercised in bad... Listen, this was a bad mistake. This is not something that you say... This is not something you say out loud, especially if you're employed by the state. He absolutely should not... I mean, I'm not going to say that he shouldn't have said it, but he was stupid for having done so. But women talk all the time about how guys ruin everything. But when someone acknowledges that they ruin everything, now all of a sudden it's a problem. To me, this is just another case of women not wanting to be called out. Dude, listen, Hensley was right. Women do ruin everything. Women do ruin everything, and part of that is our fault. We can sit here and say feminism is this and feminism is that. Listen, feminism is not as successful as it is if men aren't behind it. I was on the Brother Pill podcast yesterday, and I talked about the fact that women can't do anything without men. Women can't be misandric without men. Women can't do feminism without men. Feminism needs men for feminism to survive. That's just all there is to it. But I just thought this was funny. I figured I'd bring this to you guys' attention. I thought it was actually thought it was a pretty funny story. People making a big deal out of this guy keeping it 100. Christine Ford is back in the news. The Brett Kavanaugh accuser. Of course, Christine Blasey Ford. I call her Christine Ford. And it's funny. It's like the fact that she uses her middle name. I don't know if it's her maiden name, but the fact that she uses her middle name professionally, that kind of tells you all you need to know about her, right? Like, she gets around. No, she's married. I don't care. Just use your first and last name. I knew a girl named Ashley. She had a really fucked up last name. Okay, fine. So she used her first and middle name. Girls love to use their first and middle name to appear more feminine. They don't want to appear, they probably do this not to appear owned, right? So you probably have women out here who have Facebook pages. If her name is Christina Michelle, Hopkins or something like that, she probably is on Facebook as Christina Michelle. And she probably spells her name Krystynah. Probably spells it some kind of fucked up way. Anyway, she says the assault on her perpetrated by one Brett Kavanaugh has altered her life. It says here in the press release, it is part of a written testimony Professor Christine Blasey Ford has released before she appears at a crucial Senate panel hearing later on Thursday. Judge Kavanaugh, who will also testify, has strenuously denied the accusations. However, fresh allegations, which the judge also denies, have appeared as the hearing looms. So basically, she says, Brett's assault on me drastically altered my life. For a very long time, I was too afraid and ashamed to tell anyone the details, she wrote in her prepared statement. She continues, quote, I tried to convince myself that because Brett did not rape me, I should be able to move on and just pretend that it never happened. She said Mr. Kavanaugh and her friend, Mark Judge, locked her in a bedroom during a small gathering at a house in Washington, D.C. in the suburbs of the summer of 1982. Both Brett and Mark were drunkenly laughing during the attack. She said Mr. Judge has denied the allegation, saying he does not recall the incident. I believed that Brett Kavanaugh was going to rape me, she said. The fact that he covered my mouth, she says, terrified her the most, and has had the most lasting impact. Guys, listen, man, this is all bullshit. Listen, the thing is this, man, there's zero proof. There's no evidence. This happened back in 1982. Anybody can come up with any sort of... Anybody can accuse anybody of anything. Men in the court of public opinion, men are guilty till proven innocent. Okay, so a man achieves a measure of success. All of a sudden, we got all these women coming out of the woodworks. Oh, he looked at me funny. I thought he was going to rape me. How do we know that this even happened? I mean, listen, you're a frat girl, or a frat. I don't know. I don't know. As a fraternity. I mean, listen, you're in college. You're all drunk. How do we know that? How do we know Kavanaugh locked her in a room? And then, of course, for good measure, she said, "Oh, and they laughed during the attack." So we're making accusations on what you say you thought. I thought he was going to rape me. Well, that's as good as rape. No, it's not. He did not rape you, sweetheart. There is zero proof. There is zero evidence of any of this stuff. This is all bullshit, man. And again, notice they called it sexual assault. They have now widened the definition of sexual assault to mean whatever it is. Yeah, to mean whatever it is they want it to mean. They don't say, listen, they don't say rape anymore. When's the last time a public figure was actually accused of rape? Of course, other than Bill Cosby. Of course, we've got Harvey Weinstein. And, I mean, listen, man, I mean, none of us here believe that he raped these women. They slept with him to further their careers. I think that's pretty obvious. The attack altered my life. No, it didn't. If the attack altered your life, then why did you wait 30 some odd years to come out about it? If this was so traumatic, and listen, I've said this before, there are many, many signs of a false domestic violence, false rape accusation, whatever. The very first sign is that she doesn't go to the police. Right? Here's another sign. She tells other people, but she does not tell the police. And by the way, supposedly there is no statute of limitations on sexual assault or rape. So why hasn't Brett Kavanaugh been arrested? If there was so much validity to her claim, then why hasn't Judge Kavanaugh been arrested? Had a Brother Pill podcast last night with O'Shea. Listen, man, it was straight fire. I had a good time. The name of the podcast was called My Girlfriend Has Daddy Issues. And things got lively. Things got very, very lively in there. At one point, O'Shea banned, he put all the women in timeout. We had a lot of women in there who were throwing shade at your boy. And it's funny because these women want to sleep with me. They want me to fuck them, but I don't want to fuck them. That's what makes them mad. So they call me all kinds of names. Uncle Tom, he's a coon, he's a sellout. He worships white women. He worships white people. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing I had never heard before. So O'Shea decided to flex a little bit of his, quote, misogynistic muscle, and he put everyone in timeout. Everyone in timeout. All of the women in timeout. None of them could say anything for the rest of the show. It's probably maybe a good 30 to 45 minutes. Just a bunch of women in there talking shit. And listen, you guys know me. I have no problem with anyone who disagrees with me. But don't talk shit about me in social media. Don't go back and forth with me on Facebook. Don't come at me in the chat. Give me a call. I'm not hard to find. Yeah, listen, y'all punk ass niggas, y'all bitches, y'all know. Listen, you guys know where to find me. I'm right here, 10 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, Monday through Friday. We're going to follow that up with a Brother Pill podcast tonight called Why Black Men Hate It When Other Black Men Date White Girls. And the reason why we're doing this is because we had quite a few callers calling in who showed a little bit of disdain about the fact that I date white women. And it's funny. I think that, you know, of course they come out with, oh, you know, self-hate and this and that and the other. No, listen, man. And I'll talk about it on the show today. Self-hate leads to self-harm. If someone really hates themselves, they engage in self-destructive behaviors. So by dating women who are more feminine, who give me sex on command, who cook for me, who are happy to be with me, by doing those things, which are all good things, that means I hate myself. Again, that's that tired rhetoric. That's that tired rhetoric to make themselves feel good about the fact that he may date white girls, but he hates himself. There's something bad we can point to. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Whatever helps you sleep at night. If you want to talk about some of the things that hold men back from reaching their full potential, give me a call. 914-205-5356. If you have an unrelated question about girls, game, relationships, or sex, you guys can hit me too. As always, if you disagree with anything I say, phone lines are open. 914-205-5356. I am always up for a rousing, healthy debate. I'm certainly open to having my mind change. It's not going to be easy. Not just going to make it easy for you. I'm very steadfast in my beliefs. I'm 41 years old. It's going to take a hell of a lot to change my mind. If you want to call up and give it a try, you're more than welcome to. Follow, add, and like me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe on all 3 platforms. To get access to all of my content, go to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. There you will find the archive of all complete episodes of TSR Live, both audio and video, so you can listen on the go or watch at your leisure. Now, you can watch the show live on weekday mornings at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific right here. But if you want to be able to rewatch or re-listen to the episodes in their entirety, less than 17 cents a day is all it takes. If you like what you hear, if you get something out of my content and you want to contribute, you can donate through my Streamlabs link. www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe 1. www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. I don't take super chat, so if you want to contribute to the show, every little bit counts, guys. Now, if you want to support the show but you're a little low on coin, you can still contribute. Just go to donovansharpe.com and shop through my Amazon affiliate link at the top of my homepage. By doing all of your Amazon shopping through my link, you'll be supporting the show. It will not cost you a dime. Great way to contribute if you are not a millionaire like Joby, Juan, Coyote, JWC, as we affectionately refer to him around these parts, which is kind of how it goes.
One thing I could definitely say about the one-on-one testimonials with Donovan is that he gives clear-cut, pragmatic advice.
I came to him about 6 to 8 months ago, and at the time, my wife and I were having a lot of trouble.
If you have a question about women, relationships, sex, finances, game,
a massive blessing for my relationship and my life.
Donovan answers questions, listens, and gives solid advice.
You know, some of the top things that he teaches are what got my marriage back on track. Very grateful to him.
I can definitely say 100% Donovan's the real deal.
Gentlemen,
give
if
Donovan
you're
a call.
looking for a mentor to help you during your red pill revolution, renaissance, if you need guidance to help you navigate a particular situation, or if you're looking for unfiltered sound advice on dating, relationships, sex, go to donovansharpe.com/consult and fill out the questionnaire. This month, I'm giving my listeners 25% off of my normal rate. Only 3 days left, guys. And you don't need a promo code. Simply take 25% off of what you see on donovansharpe.com/consults, not to be combined with any of their offers or discounts. Now, when you fill out that questionnaire, guys, make sure you give me details. Make sure you give me stories. I need examples. If you want me to give you solid, actionable advice that you can use today, put into action immediately, then I need as much information as possible. Do not be afraid to write me a novel, guys. It makes me much more effective. DonovanSharpe.com/consults. That's consults with an S on the end. That is plural. Book yours today. If you are listening on SoundCloud and you want to learn about the things that hold men back from reaching their full potential, head on over to DonovanSharpe.com or Patreon.com/DonovanSharpe. Again, if you're listening on SoundCloud, if you're listening to this replay on SoundCloud, and you want to learn about the things that hold men back from reaching their full potential, come on over to DonovanSharpe.com or Patreon.com/DonovanSharpe.